this month's video series, I have been talking all about what it takes to run and grow a successful, profitable, sustainable, and perhaps most importantly, an enjoyable agency. I've shared with you my own story and the mistakes that I made, and I've talked about the 3 key areas that every owner needs to focus on no matter what stage of their growth they're at. And today I want to share with you 5 key traits that I see all successful entrepreneurs having. Now, having worked with over 350 agency owners over the past 14 years, I see the successful ones all sharing these traits. The first trait is that they all have a clear vision that they document and they share. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never know whether you get there. And that is simply why every agency should have some kind of documented vision. This vision should motivate and excite you. And if you have a team, then you need to make sure you bring them along with you so they're equally motivated to get to that final destination. When you share your vision with the team, you need to acknowledge the reality that some team members will feel like it sounds like a lot of hard work. So remember to make it clear to them the question that they're thinking, which is, what's in it for me? Now, this could include opportunities, it could include new exciting projects, additional training, promotion, bonuses, pay rises, and so on. Think of a vision like a journey. Let's imagine that we all want to go to the south of France, and everybody in the agency is super excited about getting to the south of France because it looks like a great place to be. Now we need to work out the what and the how of how we're going to get there. So specifically, a vision needs to document the destination that you want to reach, and it needs to describe that destination in terms of sales, the type of customer that you want to win, the staff that you're going to need to service that, what systems and processes you need to support the vision, and how you will measure the steps along that journey. Once you have the vision, and it should be on no more than 1 page, you then need to turn that into quarterly strategies, and then turn those quarterly strategies into monthly measurable plans. If you want to be successful with your vision, you cannot create a vision once a year and then cast it in stone and not be willing to change it. This is a surefire way of making it fail, and is one of the 2 reasons why so many businesses fail to create a vision, and this stops them doing it in the future. And the second being that the vision is overly complex. So make sure you revisit the vision frequently. Your vision needs to be a dynamic document that you are constantly updating based on what you know today. The second trait is that they establish a clear niche. Now, I've written about niching many times before, so you'll know that I'm a big believer in finding your niche and showing up in this niche as an expert. Well, why? Because it helps you stand apart from your competition and you show up as a specialist rather than a jack of all trades. A specialist will always win against a generalist, and a specialist agency will always be able to charge higher fees. And finally, when you have a clear niche, it's so much easier to identify your ideal target customer and much more easy to build sales and marketing messages that really resonate with them. Now, you can read more on my website about how to go about finding your niche, but my advice would be always to be as niched as you possibly can, provided of course that there's a market for that niche, and then grow outwards over time rather than starting trying to be everything to everybody and a generalist. Now, the third trait of a successful entrepreneur is that you need to build a strong team around you. A successful agency owner who aspires to grow their agency knows that a crucial part of this is going to be building a strong team. Now, I'm not a big believer in building a business using freelance staff, because that's kind of like creating your agency on quicksand. Understandably, really, because freelancers have their own agenda, which means they will not necessarily share in your vision. And often, while doing a good job, they won't go the extra mile that you would expect a member of your team to do. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't use freelancers, because freelancers are good for bringing in specialist skills, and they're also good for coping with capacity issues. And they certainly can be used in the early days to build your business until you have enough sustainable revenue to hire a full-time member of staff or a part-time member of staff. But ultimately, you will want to build your own team. Now, a successful agency owner will be willing to hire the best that they can afford, and that means sometimes hiring challenging people, and then they'll delegate down as much as they possibly can. This approach not only frees up your time, but also develops your team members. Trait number 4 is that an agency leader is laser focused on how they spend their time. Now this one harks back to video 1 about splitting your time between revenue, strategy and admin. And if you can delegate down as much as you possibly can, it will leave you to focus on the things that only you can do. And these tasks will include things like developing the vision, focusing on strategy, i.e. the future of your agency. Don't get caught up in the belief that all your clients want you to work on their account and that you don't have time to delegate, or believe that it's quicker to do it yourself. These beliefs are a surefire way of becoming the bottleneck to growth of your agency. My last point, point 5, is that a successful entrepreneurial leader will be really resilient. Agency owners believe that they're Superman or Superwoman and that they are a sponge to absorb all the stress and the pressure that surrounds them. However, ensuring you take care of your mental well-being is crucial to the longevity of your focus and your energy and ultimately your agency. Being mentally tough means putting really good boundaries in place and not letting things that happen on a day-to-day basis derail you from your bigger vision. Good boundaries, learning to say no and getting your priorities right also enable you to stay focused and motivated. So there you go, my 5 traits that I have seen in every successful agency owner. And if you're already exhibiting some of these traits, then fantastic, and you're going to do really well. But if you feel like there's some areas you need to develop in, then please make sure that you focus on growing your own skills in those areas. I hope you found this video series useful and have some actionable bite-sized tasks that you can begin implementing right away. This is exactly why I create these videos. Now I'd love to hear any feedback or comments from you, so please either leave a comment below or drop me an email.